Why are these two words so effective? I'm going to explain that to you in just a moment, but first I'm going to tell you what the two words are. The two words are grow up. That's it. Grow up. Now, if you have heard me in the past, and many of you have, you've heard me talk about this before, but let's do a deep dive into why this is so effective. Why are these two words the ultimate put down? And when I say put down, we mean put down because of this. Throughout all of human history, people have tried to climb to the top of the social hierarchy. I like to call it the hive mind because everybody's doing it. They all have the same mindset. So everybody wants to be the alpha, the alpha male, the alpha female. They all want to be on top, and they just constantly churning and turning and fighting with each other and trying to step on each other. And when you tell somebody to grow up, what you're doing is you're putting them down if it's heard by their peers. So let's say you're at work, maybe at school, wherever, maybe at a family meeting, family reunion or something. And there's somebody who is, I hate to use the term picking on you, but yeah, they're kids, so that's what they do. I mean, they have a childish mindset. And you're exposing them. So they are giving you a hard time. Say you're in a classroom, there may be some kid sitting next to you and maybe even physically poking you or teasing you or saying something, and you just turn around to the kid. And I've actually done this when I was in high school. I said, hey, would you grow up? And then everyone who heard that immediately, in their mind, devalued this kid. And he knew that. He understood it immediately, and he stopped. It is absolutely amazing. It's like magic words. And I've found that if I use this in almost any setting, it just, what I'm doing, first of all, is I am returning the shame. So the reason this person is giving you a hard time in the first place is they are using you for a rung on the ladder to the hierarchy, up the hierarchy, moving toward the alpha position. Everybody's doing it all the time. And when you say grow up, what you're doing is you're, in a very true sense, taking this person down a peg or two. And some people, need to be encouraged and lifted up a peg or two, but these type of people need to be kicked down. Not literally kicked, but, they need to be taken down. And the phrase grow up puts them in that spot. It reveals to everyone that this, let's call him a bully or whatever, is behaving childish, and they deserve to be treated like a child. And now everybody sees this person who is harassing you, this narcissist, psychopath, whatever, as the child in the room. And you are the adult in the room who took charge. And how do you come back to that? Do you say, no, you grew up? I mean, you were the one behaving as a mature adult, if you were behaving as a mature adult. And this other person who is obviously being childish is now, well, you've taken their mask off. You've ripped off their mask. So let's put the framework like this. Number one, it's effective because it's not provocative. By that, I mean, let's say instead of saying grow up, you said shut up. What would be the response? Now you're on his level or her level. You are being a child as well as this other person. So what this other person did by provoking you is they have dragged you down a rung to their rung. And the reason they're after you in the first place is they see you as higher than them, or they see you in the matrix and the hierarchy as someone that they can step on. And when you say shut up or respond accordingly to their level, then you're on their level. And that's exactly where they want you. But when you say grow up, that doesn't provoke them at all. So they don't have a comeback. And similarly, it's not offensive. And if it's not offensive, they're not going to go on the defense. Now, it's offensive in the sense that they're probably offended by it. But it's not offensive in the sense that you are trying to, it doesn't seem that you're trying to hurt them. What it appears is you're just putting things in perspective. And you are. You're putting things in perspective in front of everyone else. And again, this works most effectively when it's done in front of peers, in front of others. Now, one-on-one still works, but I'd rather do it when other people are hearing, because in the entire matrix, not just you and the other guy, but in the entire matrix, in the entire hive mind, everyone who is present hears it, sees it, knows what's going on. Then number 3, we already mentioned this, so we'll just mention it briefly, is you are returning the shame. So when this person is harassing you, bullying you, whatever psychopaths do, narcissists do, bullies do, they are shaming you in front of others. So you are taking that shame and throwing it right back at them. Now again, you can tell them to shut up or knock it off. You're going to punch them in the nose, whatever. That doesn't return the shame. What that does is that expands the shame. But we don't want to be provocative. We want to be effective. Okay, so number 1, it's not provocative. Number 2, it's not offensive. Number 3, you're returning the shame. And number 4, you are taking the high ground. You are becoming the adult in the room. In a very literal sense. The not that you're becoming older, but you are behaving like an adult, literally in that sense. And this other person who's harassing you, this psychopath, this narcissist, they have become the child in the room. So you're calling this person a child without calling him a child. Grow up. Now, there are different iterations to this, but I've never heard anything that is more effective than just tell them to grow up. So, for example, you could tell them, why don't you put on your big boy pants? Well, if you were a woman and you say that to a man, you could find yourself in legal trouble. I'm not a lawyer, I don't know, but you can't discriminate based on gender, right? So you might want to check that one off your list, but it doesn't have quite the punch. You may ask them, act your, what is it they say, act your age, not your shoe size. That is corny. Just doesn't have the impact. I mean, basically, you're saying the same thing, but doesn't seem to just get to the heart of the matter, like, hey, grow up, come on. Then finally, number 5 is this. You are exposing the bully for what they really are. You're exposing the narcissist, and we all know this. We've talked about it a million times. If there is anything a narcissist, a psychopath, a bully hates, is being exposed for what they really are. And what they really are is they are immature. They are narcissistic. They are self-centered. Now, the person wouldn't be harassing you, picking on you, whatever. Now, I hate to use that term, picking on people, because it sounds, it sounds odd. But that's what they're doing, though. They're bullying you. They're picking on you. They're harassing you. They're trying to belittle you. And what you are doing is you're saying, hey, this is a narcissist without calling him a narcissist. This is a person who doesn't have impulse control, because children don't have impulse control, or they don't have mature impulse control. You're telling them that you're revealing to the whole world, you're exposing the narcissist that this is an immature and childish person. So just tell them, hey, would you grow up? So you might want to try this next time you are in a social setting and somebody is just over the top, or maybe they're just trying to give you those little, what do they call those? It's not assertive aggressive, but it's passive aggressive. And you just kind of acknowledge it. So, hey, grow up, would you? Or maybe you're having a conversation with other people and somebody doesn't like what you're saying. They may find it offensive, or they may want to pretend to find it offensive to make you look bad, again, to elevate themselves in the social hierarchy. I hate it when people do that, because they change the subject abruptly and bluntly so that everyone else can, they're signaling other people that what you're saying is inappropriate, even if it's not. So they can move up a rung. We'll knock them back down, say, hey, would you grow up? I was talking about something here. You change the subject, or however you want to say it. If you found this video useful, I encourage you to subscribe to our channel. If you found it helpful and you think it deserves it, give it a thumbs up. If you've got something to add to this, leave a comment in the comment section. We read all of our comments. Our channel is small enough that I can read them, and I respond to almost all of them, even if it's just a smiley face. I'll respond to them, so you know I read it. And if you would be so kind as to share this on social media, I would appreciate that so much. And I'm so grateful that you took your time to spend it with me for these few minutes while we share with you the 2 words that are almost always guaranteed to put a bully, a narcissist, a psychopath in his or her place. Take care.